So now, please welcome Senator Santorum for standing up for taxpayers.
Thank you very much, Maria. It's great to be here. I'm sorry for being a few minutes late. I've been on a pretty tight schedule. I left this morning from Washington, D.C. Yesterday was the Value Voter Summit. I guess it's still going on today, but I left town at 3 o'clock. Well, I got up at 3 o'clock your time this morning to be here, and I've done two town hall meetings, one with the Tea Party group earlier, and one before that with a Republican men's club in Rockwall. So I've been traveling around the state, and tonight I'm heading to a speech in Arlington, speaking at the CareNet pregnancy dinner tonight, helping them in their effort to support that institution. So, and then tomorrow morning I'll be doing Fox News Sunday from Dallas. So keep an eye out. I am late. What I'm going to do is, and since usually I do not like to give long talks to Tea Party groups because I know the Tea Party folks love to ask questions and get down to it and kick the tires, I'm going to take all the time that I'm late out of my speech, and what I'm going to do is just say this, that I am grateful to what the Tea Party movement has done for this country. You have awakened a very important sleepy electorate that has the best way I can put it, almost on narcotics and dependency that has sort of come over this country. That government is there to take care of them, and that their job is to just go along with what the government wants them to do, whether it's these programs that Marie just talked about. But you have awakened America that our country is a great country because we are a country that has limited government, and that believes in free people, and that America changed the world because of just that. That we are a country that believes that rights come to us from God. Where do we find that? In our founding document, the Declaration of Independence. And they come to us from God, and what God is that? It's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We know this. We know this because that's what our founders wrote. That is the reality, that this is a God that gives each of us rights. No other country in the history of the world prior to America believed that. Established a government based on that. We were the first, and we changed the world. Prior to America, every government believed, if they believed in God at all, believed that rights came to the king or to the emperor. And it was the government's job to allocate those rights to the classes of people for the benefit of the people, always for the benefit of the people. And our founders said, no, we're going to do it differently. We were going to establish a country with God-given rights for each and every person. And the understanding was that when God gave us rights, we were people of the book. And guess what? He didn't give us rights and say, do whatever you want to do. He gave us rights and he gave us laws. Laws that can be revealed through his faith and through nature. Nature and nature's God. That's what our founding document also said. So it can be revealed what the truth is through God, through faith, and also through reason. It is accessible to all. Nature and nature's God. And they wrote that in this Declaration of Independence, that the rights were to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Very interesting little turn, which is, I didn't realize this, but of course they're foundational rights. I mean, you have to have life first, right? Nothing really much matters unless we have a government that respects all human life. Do we do that today? No, we do not. Are we a country that allows for freedom the way our founders envisioned freedom? The answer is no, we do not. We have government who is controlling us. Why? Well, there's several reasons for that, and I'll get into it in some of the questions. But freedom to do what? To pursue happiness. Here's an interesting little tidbit. Go back and look up the dictionary definition of happiness at the time of our founders. And you know what you'll find? One of the definitions, the principal definition, was to do the morally right thing. Why? Because our founders understood that true happiness comes from doing God's will, right? Doing something that you are rightly ordered to do. In America today, we see happiness is equivalent to pleasure. You see folks even within our own party that say, oh, you know, we don't need any laws, just people should be able to do whatever they want to do. Well, people do whatever they want to do, not in a morally ordered way. You don't have freedom. You have chaos, and then you have government oppression to control the chaos. So John Adams said this about our Constitution. Our Constitution was made for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the governance of any other. Why? We are only as free as well we behave. Right? And so we have this moral enterprise that's America, where our founders said we are going to create this moral enterprise, and then we're going to have a government, a constitution that's going to be limited on a federal level to protect those rights. That's what our Constitution's there to do. It's not to do things for people, but allow them the ability to provide for themselves, their family, and of course, to do God's will. Right? And we can build a great country believing in you. What I said when I announced for president, I said in 2008, America was convinced that they needed a president who they could believe in. Now America, thanks to the Tea Party, understands that what they need is a president that believes in them. And that's the difference in this world.